I want to ask you a simple but powerful question. Do you ever feel like you're capable of more, whether that's at work, in the gym, or even just in your daily life, but your energy, focus, or motivation seem to hold you back? I know that feeling, and I want you to know you're not alone. I've seen so many people struggle with this, and I've been there myself. The truth is, performing at your best isn't just about discipline or working harder. A huge part of it comes down to what you put into your body. And today, I want to share 3 incredible foods that can help you fuel your brain, support your body, and crush the goals you've set for yourself. Before we dive in, let me ask you this. If you could choose just one area of your life to perform better in right now, whether it's your career, your physical health, or even your relationships, what would it be? I'd love for you to take a moment and share that in the comments below. Not only does it help you commit to that goal, but it also inspires other people watching this video. We're building a community here, and your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. Now, when I talk about performance, I don't just mean athletic performance, I mean performing at your best as a human being, waking up with energy, staying focused through the day, feeling strong in your workouts, and even showing up fully for the people who matter most to you. And while there's no single magic food that will transform everything overnight, there are certain foods that have been consistently shown to give your brain and body the edge they need. And the best part? These aren't exotic superfoods that are hard to find. They're accessible, delicious, and easy to add into your routine. The first food I want to talk about is salmon. Now, I know not everyone loves fish, but hear me out. Salmon is one of the richest sources of omega-3 fatty acids, especially DHA and EPA, which are absolutely critical for brain health. Your brain is made up of nearly 60% fat, and a large portion of that fat is omega-3. When you don't get enough, you might feel more sluggish, more easily distracted, or even more irritable. But when you consistently include omega-3 rich foods like salmon, you're literally feeding your brain the building blocks it needs to function at its highest level. Think about it this way. If you're trying to run a high-performance car, you wouldn't fill it with cheap fuel. You'd want the cleanest, most efficient fuel possible. That's exactly what salmon does for your brain. Studies have shown that people who consume more omega-3s often have better memory, sharper attention, and even lower risks of cognitive decline over time. And for your body, omega-3s also help reduce inflammation, which means you recover faster after workouts, your joints feel better, and your immune system stays strong. I recommend having salmon or another fatty fish at least twice a week. And if you don't eat fish, you can still get omega-3s from plant sources like chia seeds, flax seeds, and walnuts, though they're a little less efficient for your body to use. For vegetarians and vegans, an algae-based omega-3 supplement can also be a great option. The key here is consistency, making sure your brain and body are constantly fueled with what they need. The second food I want you to add to your routine is blueberries. These little berries might seem simple, but they're one of the most powerful foods you can eat when it comes to boosting performance. Blueberries are loaded with antioxidants, especially compounds called anthocyanins, which help protect your brain and body from oxidative stress. Every day your body is dealing with stress, physical stress, mental stress, and even environmental toxins. Over time, that stress can damage your cells and slow you down. Blueberries act almost like a shield, protecting your brain cells so they can keep firing on all cylinders. What's amazing is that research has shown blueberries can actually improve memory and cognitive function even in older adults. That means sharper focus, quicker learning, and better recall. And for physical performance, blueberries can help reduce muscle soreness and speed up recovery, which is a huge advantage if you're training hard or just trying to stay active. I personally like adding blueberries to my morning oatmeal or smoothie. They're naturally sweet, so they satisfy your cravings without spiking your blood sugar like processed snacks do. And here's a little tip. Frozen blueberries are just as nutritious as fresh ones, sometimes even more because they're frozen right after harvesting. So if you can't find fresh, grab a bag of frozen and keep it in your freezer. You can toss them into anything, yogurt, salads, or even just eat them by the handful. Now let's move on to the third food, and this one might surprise you. Leafy greens. Spinach, kale, arugula, Swiss chard. These are absolute game changers for both your brain and your body. Leafy greens are packed with vitamins like A, C, K, and especially folate, which plays a key role in brain function. They're also full of minerals like magnesium and potassium, which keep your muscles functioning properly and help regulate your energy levels throughout the day. One of the most important things leafy greens do is support blood flow. They're rich in nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. Nitric oxide relaxes your blood vessels, allowing more oxygen and nutrients to flow to your muscles and your brain. That means more endurance, more energy, and sharper focus. Athletes sometimes even use nitrate-rich beet juice for performance, but leafy greens give you a natural and steady supply. And I'll tell you this, people who eat more leafy greens consistently show slower rates of cognitive decline as they age. That means your brain stays younger for longer, but you don't have to wait until later in life to see the benefits. When you add leafy greens to your daily routine, you'll often notice right away that your energy feels more stable, your digestion improves, and your workouts feel easier. So let's take a moment to recap. Salmon gives your brain the omega-3 fuel it needs to think clearly and recover quickly. Blueberries protect your brain and body from stress while boosting memory and focus. And leafy greens enhance your blood flow, energy, and endurance. Together, these three foods create a foundation that helps you perform at your best in every area of life. Now, I know what you might be thinking. This sounds great, but how do I actually fit all of this into my busy life? And I get it. Life can feel overwhelming, and it's easy to grab whatever's convenient when you're hungry. But here's the good news. You don't need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start small. Pick one of these foods and commit to adding it into your week. Maybe that means salmon for dinner on Sunday, a handful of blueberries with breakfast, or a side salad with lunch. Once that feels easy, add in another one. Before you know it, these foods become part of your routine and you don't even have to think about it. The reason I want you to focus on these three foods is that they give you the biggest bang for your buck. There are plenty of other healthy foods out there, and they're great too. But if you're looking for a simple, practical way to get started, something that's realistic and sustainable, these three are where I'd put my focus. And let me tell you something important. Eating these foods isn't about being perfect. It's not about dieting or restriction. It's about fueling yourself so you can show up as the best version of you. And when you feel your best, you're more confident, more motivated, and more capable of reaching those goals you've set. I want you to really think about how different your days could feel if you had more consistent energy, clearer focus, and faster recovery. Imagine waking up in the morning feeling refreshed, not sluggish. Imagine tackling your work or studies with full concentration, not constantly fighting distraction. Imagine going through your workouts, or even just your daily responsibilities, with strength and stamina instead of dragging yourself through them. That's the reality these foods can help you move toward when you commit to making them part of your lifestyle. Now, you might be asking, how quickly will I feel the difference? And I want to be honest with you, it's not an overnight change. You're not going to eat one serving of salmon or a handful of blueberries and suddenly feel superhuman. But over time, when you consistently give your body and brain what they need, the difference becomes undeniable. Your energy stabilizes, your focus sharpens, and your body recovers more efficiently. Think of it like compounding interest in your health. Every small, consistent choice you make adds up to something powerful. Let's talk about practical ways to bring these foods into your daily routine, because I don't want this to just be information. I want this to be something you can actually use. For salmon, one of the easiest meals you can make is baked salmon with a side of vegetables. It takes less than 20 minutes in the oven, and you can season it simply with olive oil, lemon, garlic, and a little salt and pepper. If you don't have time to cook, look for canned salmon or sardines packed in water or olive oil. They're affordable, shelf-stable, and still packed with omega-3s. You can mix them into salads, spread them on whole grain crackers, or even add them to pasta. For blueberries, try keeping a bowl of them on the counter or in the fridge where you can see them. We're more likely to eat what's visible and convenient. If you make smoothies, toss in a handful of blueberries for natural sweetness, or sprinkle them on top of your cereal, pancakes, or even in your water for a refreshing twist. And remember, frozen blueberries are just as good, so there's no excuse if fresh isn't available. Leafy greens can be even easier. Add a handful of spinach to your morning smoothie. You won't even taste it once it's blended with fruit. Make salads that are colorful and exciting by mixing different greens like arugula, kale, and romaine. If salads aren't your thing, saute some greens with garlic and olive oil for a simple side dish. You can even stir them into soups, stews, or pasta sauces. The idea is to find a way that feels enjoyable for you. Food should be nourishing, but it should also be something you look forward to. One question I get often is, do I have to eat these foods every single day to see benefits? And the answer is no. Think of it more like aiming for consistency over time. If you can eat salmon twice a week, a serving of blueberries a few times throughout the week, and leafy greens almost daily, you'll be giving your body what it needs. It's about building a rhythm, not being perfect. I also want to acknowledge something important. We all come from different backgrounds, cultures, and lifestyles. Not everyone has the same access to fresh salmon or organic blueberries, and that's okay. Do the best you can with what's available to you. If salmon is out of reach, choose walnuts or chia seeds. If blueberries are too expensive, go with other berries like strawberries or blackberries. They still have many of the same benefits. If leafy greens aren't something you enjoy raw, try blending them into sauces or soups. The goal isn't perfection, the goal is progress. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the bigger picture. Why does this even matter? Why should you care about eating these foods instead of just powering through your day on coffee, energy drinks, and quick snacks? Because how you feel day to day directly affects what you're able to achieve. If you're constantly tired, distracted, or run down, you're not going to perform at your best. You're not going to crush those goals you've set for yourself. But when you fuel your body with the right foods, you're giving yourself the best chance to succeed, not just physically, but mentally and emotionally too. I've seen people completely transform their lives just by making small, consistent changes to their diet. More energy means they finally have the motivation to start working out. Better focus means they perform better at work and even earn opportunities they never thought possible. Faster recovery means they can stay consistent with their fitness goals without burning out. And better overall health means they're able to show up fully for their family and loved ones. That's the ripple effect these simple choices can have. So here's what I want you to do. Choose one of these 3 foods and commit to adding it into your life this week. Don't wait until Monday. Don't wait until things calm down. Start now. Maybe it's salmon for dinner tonight. Maybe it's blueberries on your breakfast tomorrow. Or maybe it's adding spinach to your smoothie. Whatever it is, take action right away. Because the sooner you start, the sooner you'll feel the benefits. And while you're at it, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Which one of these foods are you most excited to try? Or if you're already eating them, which one has made the biggest difference for you? Your answers can inspire someone else who's just starting out. Now, let's take a moment to talk about the mindset behind all of this. Eating these foods isn't just about nutrition, it's about identity. When you choose to fuel your body with foods that support your goals, you're sending a powerful message to yourself that you value your health, your energy, and your future. You're no longer someone who just gets by. You're someone who's intentional, focused, and capable of performing at their best. That mindset shift is just as important as the food itself. And here's the beauty of it. Once you start eating in a way that makes you feel good, your body will naturally start craving more of those foods. You'll notice how much better you feel after salmon and veggies compared to fried fast food. You'll notice the energy boost from blueberries compared to a candy bar. You'll notice how light and energized you feel after a salad compared to a heavy, processed meal. Your body is always talking to you. You just have to listen. Now, I don't want to give the impression that food alone is the only key to peak performance. Sleep, exercise, stress management, and mindset all play huge roles. But food is the foundation. It's the fuel that makes everything else possible. You can have the best workout program, but if you're not eating to support it, you'll burn out. You can have big career goals, but if you're living on processed junk, your focus and creativity will suffer. By nourishing yourself with the right foods, you create the conditions for everything else to thrive. I also want to point out that these foods aren't a quick fix. They're not meant to replace medical advice, medications, or treatments you may need. If you have health conditions or specific dietary concerns, always talk with your doctor or a qualified health professional before making big changes. What I'm sharing today is about building a strong, sustainable foundation for everyday health and performance. So let me leave you with this. You have big goals and you absolutely have the potential to achieve them. But your potential doesn't come out by accident. It comes from intentional choices. Choices about how you spend your time, where you put your energy, and yes, what you put into your body. By adding salmon, blueberries, and leafy greens into your life, you're making a choice that sets you up to succeed. You're giving yourself the fuel to focus, the resilience to recover, and the energy to keep moving forward. I believe in you. I know that if you take even one step from this video and put it into practice, you're going to feel the difference. And when you feel better, you'll show up better. And when you show up better, you'll achieve more than you thought possible. So go ahead, choose one of these foods and take action today. Share your goal in the comments below and let's support each other in this journey. Because you don't have to settle for average. You can perform at your best. You can crush your goals. And it all starts with what you put on your plate.